Shocking, Obama just made a racist announcement. This is bad. This is sick by Al Weisman for Freedom Daily. In a shocking move to appease the masses and promote his loathsome charity, the former President Barack Hussein Obama joined forces with Chance the Rapper and Steph Curry in a new PSA, and it couldn't seem more racist. The former president's charity, the Obama Foundation, may have already pushed itself into oblivion with this racially divided message, but readers will have to make that decision themselves after learning more about it below. Former President Obama shared the PSA filmed for his new foundation, My Brother's Keeper Alliance, MBK, which encourages mentorship and opportunities for boys and young men of color. Interesting how about women, Asians, Mexicans, Italians, whites, gays, transgenders. The charity accepts only males of color but eliminates the opportunity for everyone else. It's strange because when people wanted the Boy Scouts to remain all boys, they were hit with criticism and they were the mean ones. Now Obama can have a black boys only club and it's acceptable? Let's discuss the PSA a little bit more. The PSA features a speech which Obama gave in 2015 where he says, I want you to know you matter. There is nothing, not a single thing, that's more important to the future of America than whether or not young people all across this country can achieve their dreams. Then it shows basketball star Steph Curry at the Golden State Warriors practice facility as he stares at a video on his cell phone. Curry then echoes the same words spoken earlier in the video by a young man who says, we're the ones to inspire our generation to rise up and stand for the idea of opportunity for everyone. Opportunity for who, right? The scene with Curry allows viewers to wonder if the speaker refers to the hundreds of young black males who are shot every year in war-torn Chicago. What would happen if any other previous president created a similar public service announcement? What if an older president created a video that featured only white children and said, we are our brother's keeper? The outrage and condemnation would be astronomical, mainly from leftists who criticize everyone else for things they do the most. But it's Obama, and the left allows him a free passage, whether his actions are seen as racist or not. That's sickening, isn't it? Via American Thinker. Yes, I said it. Obama is a racist. As the white conservative mother of black/Mexican/white children, I know a racist when I hear one. So is his buddy Henry Louis Gates. Don't let these two Ivy League educated, erudite, distinguished black men convince you that only whites can be racist. Believe me, these two men are the worst kind of racists, black and elitists. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, a racist is someone who believes all members of each racial group possesses characteristics or abilities specific to that race, especially to distinguish it as being either superior or inferior to another racial group or racial groups. When Sergeant Crowley investigated a possible burglary at Professor Gates's Cambridge home this week, Gates met a white cop at his door and evidently assumed Crowley was a bad cop, a rogue, a racist cop who would treat him differently than any other suspected perp just because he was black. That's racism, folks. What did Gates do when faced with a police officer investigating a burglary in his home? Was Gates polite and courteous to the cop? Did he cooperate and step onto the porch out of the darkened home so Crowley could see his face and ID? Did he calmly explain why a passerby saw him breaking in? If, in fact, it was his own house? Did he speak or act like the esteemed scholar and professor his ID claimed him to be? No. He was belligerent, accusatory, uncooperative, irrational, and defamatory, throwing racial slurs at the white officer, even insulting the cop's mother as in, "Yo mama is so." If ever a man did not act with Harvard professional dignity and decorum, if ever a black man acted like a thug from the hood, Gates did. Is it any wonder Officer Crowley asked for more ID, one that actually listed the house and his address, or asked for another person to corroborate Gates's identity? I would, wouldn't you? And when Gates refused and became so incensed and insulting to the Sergeant who was there to protect his property, that a crowd grew around his house, was Crowley supposed to allow this kind of behavior just because Gates was black? No. He arrested Gates for disorderly conduct, as he was trained to do. Last time I checked, police arrest people regardless of race when they act like crazy people in the presence of peace officers. So why is President Obama a racist? Because he, like his friend Gates, automatically assumed the white police officer acted stupidly. Barack Obama assumed it was the white officer's fault because, of course, we all know white cops are racist, right? And later, when he slightly retracted his statement, he still felt the need to say it would have been better if cooler heads had prevailed. By now, we know the facts, that his friend Gates had lost his mind and acted like a fool, but he assumed that Sergeant Crowley similarly lost it and got all up in Gates's face because, of course, that's what all white cops do. But this white cop didn't, because he's not just any cop. He's an expert at managing racial incidents, just like this one became, because of Gates's racism. Friends and fellow officers of all races say Sergeant James Crowley is calm and reliable in situations racially hostile situs because he was handpicked by a black police commissioner to teach recruits how to avoid racial profiling, and Crowley has apparently been doing a stellar job at it for 5 years. But Gates and our esteemed president didn't know that, did they? So, who are the racists in this story? Gates accused a decent, decorated, above reproach police officer of being a racist rogue cop just because he was white. What did our esteemed black president do? He immediately took Gates' side because he's a friend and black. Mr. President, I thought you were going to help erase the racial lines that divide us. Shame on you for taking sides on something you admitted you knew nothing about, for commenting nationally on a small local issue well beneath your pay grade, and for showing us all that you are not that different, that the racist Gates who believes all white cops are bad cops just because of their skin color. Mr. President, you are racist. Shame on you. Unemployment under President Trump has reached an all-time low for African Americans, but he's continuously labeled as a racist by leftists. The utterly ridiculous claim, one which has not even been heard since he's been famous, has only come out of leftists since Trump gained traction in the 2016 election. Racism is a Democrat weapon of choice. When a Democrat can't find a valid argument, then they label people with words such as racist, sexist, or anything else ist. Leftists continually label Trump and his supporters, but as people learn more, they're finding out that the leftists commit so much racism, sexual assault crimes filed under Hollywood, and other horrible things. Now that Obama has a Black Boys Only Club, it is finally acceptable for the Boy Scouts to go back to the way they're supposed to be. Obama wanted to give Black America food stamps and government cheese and a little boys club, but Trump gave people jobs and opportunity. Trump is the racist one, right? Should Obama's foundation allow all boys into the club? You think? Isn't this disgusting in this day and age? In this day and age. It's mind-boggling in this day and age how this takes place. You know, he's the big divider. He was chosen to destroy this country. That's what he was there for. And he's a sick human being. And any white people that actually approve of this man were all sick. And I used to like him, you know, because I didn't really know what he was all about. Now we do, and it's a sad thing for America, but that's it. Well, because we never had this kind of a problem, and we were all sleeping, and this is what took place while we were sleeping and busy with other things in our lives. It's shocking, and it's sickening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much for watching.